everyone, me again, obviously. So, right off the bat, I want to say I apologize if this seems like I'm jumping on the bandwagon or anything like that. It's not at all my intention. This is not usually something I ever comment about. I never make these kind of videos. I never talk about this, anything involving celebrity lives. But this one is a special case, and there's a lot that it means to me that I want to talk about. And I know everyone's kind of going online right now, kind of saying what he meant to them and stuff like that. And I guess I kind of originally planned to make this like a bigger video, and I probably still will make a bigger video. But for now, I just kind of want to, I just kind of want to talk about it. At least give my own perspective on what this means to me. For those who haven't heard, I'd be surprised if you haven't heard this by now, but Robin Williams died from apparent suicide, I think, yesterday, at the time I'm recording this. So, and this is a tremendous loss. Because, I mean, my God. I mean, this is Robin Williams. This man is a living legend. This man is just such one of the most unique people in Hollywood, and just one of the most unique people in general. And it just, God, it's inspired so many people and done so many incredible things. And of course, and I guess I should explain where I'm coming from with this whole thing, why it's important to me for me to want to talk about it right now, is because of the fact that pretty much growing up, I didn't have much in the way of idols or inspirations or people I looked up to growing up, and because I was very much the outsider kid. I was very much the loner. I didn't really know what I wanted to be, and that was until I discovered theater, and then I discovered Robin Williams growing up, and that's kind of when it all changed for me. And I saw this brilliant individual. I know that word gets thrown around a lot right now, but it's so true, and I'm going to explain why he's brilliant. I think he's brilliant to me, aside from his comedy, because of course the comedy is great stuff. We haven't seen anything before, we probably won't see anything like it again. A lot of people have talked about his incredible wit, his just off-the-wall stuff, just this brilliant improv. I'm not going to go too much into it, but just so much of what he said and so much of what he did so greatly influenced the way I think now and the way my comedy style is now, because it's one of the things, I didn't really have a style back then. Robin Williams introduced me to improv and introduced me to fast style of humor, and I guess I looked at that, I was like, wow, I want to do that. That is something I want to do. That's something that's the way I want to be. I want to be able to do the off-the-cuff stuff, and I want to be able to come up with these great jokes on the fly. And of course, there's no way I'm ever going to get to that level, but it really just inspired me to try and to challenge myself in all these ways. And that's the thing about Robin Williams, is that there was so much more to him than just his comedy. And I think everyone knows that. I think that's what makes him so special, and what makes his death such a tragedy and hits so many people so hard, is the fact that he was not just a great comedian, he was just a great person. He was a brilliant individual. He was not just a comedian, he was a philosopher. He was so insanely passionate about everything he did. And I love that so much. And what really sold it to me, and I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, I apologize, but what really sold to me is the Behind the Actor Studio episode of Robin Williams. And if you haven't watched it, go check it out. I think you can find most, if not all of it, on YouTube. But this, my God, this interview alone just showed me that opened my eyes to a lot about not only Robin Williams, but kind of people in general, is the fact that he had this, despite his struggles, despite his depressions, despite the fact that, he's a great comedian who can just spend a straight half hour cracking jokes on the fly, he was just this humble, loving, graceful human being who was just not... I don't think it was that he wasn't afraid. He just never let that stop him. And I admired that so much. Like, one thing in that interview I particularly liked, like, he was just so open about his struggles, and he was willing to make jokes. He was willing to laugh about it. Like, it didn't bog him down. He recognized them for their significance in his life, but he didn't... He could still laugh about it. He could make jokes out of tragedy, and that was just a kind of evidence of his own tragedy, I should say. Like, he can look at the bad stuff that happened in his life, and it says, that was really bad, but I got through it, and this is why I'm better for it. And I so admired it. I also loved just the courage to be able to talk about that stuff openly. No fear of judgment, no fear of criticism or ridicule. Like, he didn't care much. Or if he did care, he didn't show it. And I guess I deeply admired the vulnerability of that. And I guess that's something I've tried to apply to a lot in my own life. It's why I made the episodes like the MCN Talks and all that stuff. It's because I just so admired his ability just to talk about anything with such honesty and such passion and such a clearly contemplative mind. And that really hit home with me. Like, even Robin Williams really defined acting for me. As a kid. In the same interview, there's a quote he says down the line, and I still remember, that's like for some reason, this is the line that stuck with me, and I think I saw this when I was around 16 or 17, and I'd been using, like, this is during the phase where I was kind of, like, trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted to be, and this, oddly enough, strangely helped with that, was, he's kind of defining what it means to be an actor, and he just basically says something along the lines of, if you know who you are, what you do, why you do it, this kind of frees you up to do other things and be other people. And I don't know why. That one really stuck with me. And especially as I got older and I kind of learned more about the kind of person I am, it's like, okay, what else can I do? What else can I experiment with? And that's another thing I like about Robin Williams, is the fact that he was always just willing to try things, just throw stuff at the wall and just see what stuck. And that's what I mean so much of his improv brilliant, is that he wasn't afraid to really go anywhere. And it just... And I think I mentioned this a little bit before is... there was something about, like, people like Robin Williams, and I'm going to make a longer video talking about this, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it now, is that he had such a larger-than-life personality. And that wasn't just a big attention grabber, look at me, like, no, he was just so in love with the crowd. He was in love with entertaining people. He loved to make people laugh. But he also just, it doesn't just make people laugh, he loved to make people feel good. And it brought him such joy in everything he did, everything he said, everything he did to carry himself was said with this huge heart, this is huge lust for life that he carried with him for everything he did. He had this huge, and it just drew everyone to him, doing this beautiful soul, this beautiful optimism. And I'm thinking about it now, and I'm just like, my God, we've really lost something special. We really did. And that's really the unfortunate thing with larger-than-life personalities like that, is the fact that you have such a huge, huge high that you usually get a really low low, and unfortunately it seems to be what caved into the end. And that is... Oh, man. What I would have loved to have done, like, this, to have been able to meet this man and just have a conversation with him. Have the last one, just get to know the person behind the jokes. Because that's the interesting thing about comedians that I've seen over the years, is that they're usually the ones who have been through the worst struggles. They've seen it all, they've been through it all, and they've seen the other side. And when you sit down, you talk to them about that, you learn so much about the way people are, the way life is, the way the world is, and it's astonishing and it's eye-opening. And especially when I was first starting to ask myself the hard questions and really explore these things, Robin Williams really opened up those channels for me, those ability to think and consider the world in these new ways. And I'm never going to forget him for that. God, we really lost something special. Man. But we lost one of the greats. But there is one other thing. I think someone else pointed this out. Just just the way he answered questions, the way he saw the world was just always endlessly fascinating me. I think, again, in the same interview, I know I'm referring a lot to the Behind the Actor Studio, but he's done a ton of interviews, done different things. Like, there's a great video online about Robin Williams interacting with a gorilla. I think his name is Kola or Koba or something like that. No, not Koba, that's Planet of the Apes. But either way, it just shows how he's interacting with this apes who knew all kinds of sign language, and he was just clearly just so into it and just so willing to experiment. That doesn't sound right. That is so willing to just basically just loved to see the world through these different perspectives. He loved to explore new ideas, loved to explore different ideas. Just loved to explore everything. Just loved to explore life. And I think he described heaven as just said it hopes it's filled with laughter. I think laughter was like the big thing. I don't know. I don't pretend to understand what went through his head. Like, that's the kind of mind he had, though. It's like so fast and so much going on at once that you just sometimes you have to pause. Like, my God, what is going through this man's head? How does he work? What makes him run like that? And there's so much about him that I admired, and I still admire. I think I'm just kind of spinning my wheels now, so I'm going to wrap this up and just say, rest in peace, Robin Williams. Hope God has a really good sense of humor.